Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to speak to you all today about my journey of life, which started from a remote village some 40 kilometers from here to a city like Mumbai, metropolitan city, from a humble farmer background to, I can call it, sophisticated business into chemical manufacturing and trading. So this journey has been phenomenal in the sense you can judge the background and the transformation. So this has come primarily because of education, which is one factor, big factor is education. Because from a farmer, if you have to think about a multi-million-dollar business, it's a lot of things have gone into that. So one is the major part, I said, education. Another thing is what we learned in schools and colleges and what I learned during the course of my journey in my life. A lot of things I have not gone into, maybe Harvard Business School, but life teaches so many things. So which I learned during the course. In colleges, schools and colleges, I took science as my favorite subject, that too chemistry. In this forum also, earlier I said chemistry was my passion. So I studied chemistry. What I studied in laboratories, in test tube levels, I transformed that into industrial scale manufacturing activities. After my studies, school and college and then post-graduation, so that is the theoretical knowledge. So to put it into practice, I went into a job. Job was a necessity those days because, as I said, farmer background means financially I was not that, family background was not that rich. As it is always said, being born as a poor is not your mistake or sin, but when you end your life, you end it as a poor man, then definitely it is your fault. So, one great man has said that. So this is what was my motto. So after having enough knowledge in terms of science and languages for communications, of course, English and Hindi and various Kannada language was the basic thing which was necessary for the communications. Then a lot of things I learned, of course, in schools also theoretically and practically, as I said, during the course. So after my post-graduation, I went in pursuit of employment for sustaining myself. Then obviously I chose chemistry or chemical industry as my subject of interest. So not only for livelihood, but as well as to pursue a career with a long-term vision of getting into something which my grandfather told once when I was young. He said, son, this is not, agriculture is not a very remunerative profession. You have to get into something, big, think big. So those days he taught me that the modern, the management principle of thinking big. So that was taught to me 70 years ago, maybe 60 years ago, by my grandfather, that you think big, get into business. So that was always in my mind. So after my studies, I went in pursuit of job, but then I was with that intention in mind that one day I should be an entrepreneur. So that is the ultimate goal. During the course of my interview, once I went to Delhi, I happened to pass through army headquarters. So I read something written very boldly on that side, march on, regardless. I didn't get that, of course, meaning is obvious. So, 6 months later, I was in Mumbai, of course, in pursuit of a suitable job. So, there was a big law and order problem, and army was called. With curiosity, I went to the city to see what is happening. So, I saw, army men marching on the road, and some people walking around, policemen and people. So suddenly there was a heavy shower, and then everybody ran for shelter to escape from the rain. But I saw these army men, almost 12 of them, marching, irrespective of whether there is rain or no rain, without breaking their step, changing their step. Then I realized this is marching on regardless. Regardless of whatever is happening in life, you should march on and on, because life throws a lot of challenges in the course of its journey. Irrespective of whatever profession you take, either you are working somewhere, you are into professions, you are into your own business. So there will be a lot of challenges in life. So that is where this march on regardless always was in my mind, irrespective of the challenges, whatever happens. So you have to march on. That is life. So with a single-minded dedication and devotion, so you have to march on. There will be obstacles. So life is never a bed of roses. It's always challenges. So I have taken up that challenge because serving in some company has got, of course, challenges, but then pursuing your own enterprise, your own business has multiple challenges which I have encountered. And during that course of time, I had learned a lot of things in my life that you have to, of course, hard work is a very now outdated word rather. One has to do hard work, but then you have to do smart work nowadays. So human beings are blessed with our own intelligence as compared to any other creatures. But then human beings have that extra intelligence compared to other animals. So, but that is our natural intelligence, NI. But now we are going beyond that, going to AI, artificial intelligence, to support us. So life is becoming more and more, comfortable and worth living these days. Because what I have seen my grandfather's time, 70 years ago, was totally a different picture. A remote village, now it's as good as a beautiful resort there. And life has changed totally. Those days, my grandfather, I was told, he used to walk down 40 kilometers to Mangalore. So there was no road and nothing. So over this 50 or 100 years, lot of things have changed in the world, over the world, throughout the world. So life has become more comfortable also and more challenging also. So knowledge is very important nowadays. So the days of hard work, as I said, has gone, and it is knowledge-based business or life nowadays. So one has to update your knowledge. So education, updated education is very much necessary to pursue that. So during this course, of course, my business grew, and apart from hard work, I did a lot of. So another thing, important factor is your networking nowadays. You can't do anything on your own. You need to take the help of many people. You need to have a team. So in industry we see, I may be having 3,000 people with many managers to take care of my business. When I am talking here, a lot of managers are working day in and day out on my business. So we need to have people, you need to have team, we need to have knowledgeable people, dynamic people to run your show. So individually also it's required, business also it is required, and networking, the HR exercise is very important nowadays, because you can't acquire all knowledge and you can't have all the strengths. So you need to hire, you need to have personal tie-up with many people. So that kind of situation is there now. So I have passed through that. So I did multiple businesses into chemicals and many multiple factories. Today I run more than 6-7 factories and a couple of corporate offices. So running into, in terms of rupees, around 1500 crores turnover. So maybe around slightly less than $200 million of business into chemical business, exporting to many countries around the globe. So that is what was my plan. So I never gave up. Of course, challenges. One line I always has taken is never give up, irrespective of whatever happens. So another part also I have seen that life, we have to live a life also, good life. For a good life, God has given us a good physique without any deficiencies. Of course, that is a God gift. So born with a healthy body, and if you have a healthy body, that itself is one part of the success, which is not in your hands, of course. But maintaining that body, maintaining the health is perfectly within your scope and within your capability. So that one has to take care of health, basically physical health and mental alertness. So physical health, I have always seen that certain, of course, disease you cannot predict. Of course, certain things you can avoid. Definitely you can avoid. So fundamentally, if you have a good quantum of water intake and good intake of fresh air, this helps, and time to time quality food. So this all helps in keeping yourself happy, physically fit. That is a fundamental requirement for happiness, physical fitness. So that is, I am blessed in that. So maintain that. So this is for everyone. Have good water, enough water, and good quantum of fresh air, feng shui in Chinese they call it. So this is what life I have been leading. All this is. I won't say, of course, business has grown in multi dimensions and multi-million-dollar business. But as I see, during your course of journey, your targets, your goals keep moving, goalpost. In younger days, you had certain goals. Then during your adulthood, you have certain other things, happiness or goals. So again, now, after achieving success, I may call it success, I don't know, business success. Business success itself, I won't call it a success. I do a lot of charity work to the people around, both in my native hometown, native place, as well as in my workplaces. So do a lot of variety of social work, charity work. So mainly into health and education. That I always give priority for health and education for the people. Whatever we earn, so partly we divert, partly I divert. I have that inclination. So of course I draw inspiration from big giants who do a lot of social work, charity work. So charity is, I do lots, and then recently I got a lot of fan following. So recently we had a fan club. They arranged a felicitation ceremony for me in my native place. More than 7,000 people voluntarily came in. They must be, most of them are beneficiaries from my, charity work in some way or other. So this, not that felicitation, but the quantum of people who came in thousands, 7,000, more than 7,000 people came. I call that as my success. I call that as my success. Not, $1 million I accumulated or assets I created, but this people's love and affection. So we, what we call, you make the people, a little bit better. There are lots and lots of people who are in a very bad shape financially, and many having health problems and education problems, and sustaining their families is a problem. So I do my bit in mitigating their sufferings and helping them. to tide over their difficulties to some extent. And with that, a lot of fan following is there, and I call that as my success, uh, helping the poor people. So we have to enjoy life also. Enjoy life, I tell you, knowledge, you, especially to students, I would say, so you have to earn knowledge now. You can earn money later on. So that will always be there. So be kind to the fellow human beings. That is what I always believe in. Uh, Finally, that is the thing, what we earn and what we give to the society, that is very, very important factor to me. So that is my hallmark, and education-wise and health-wise. So that is a success story. So for students, youngsters, I would say, uh, follow the management guidelines. There are a lot of things you can learn in schools, a lot of things you can learn from the management schools, but there are a lot of things you can learn in life from maybe people like us, we share. So what they don't teach you in Harvard Business School, there is a book. So that is what we learn from our journey of life. So my journey of life has been good. So one thing I always see, be positive. That is one part, be positive in life. That will give you happiness. There are certain people, they always talk about, negative things. So then you will be unhappy. So always we say, live at the present moment. So live as on today. Be happy, have a good day. So past is a history, future is a mystery. So live the present moment. So then only you will be happy. And then there is always a saying, in Kannada we say, Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsara. The desires, your angerness, all these negative traits. If you reduce, of course, something will be there with everybody's life. But you have to reduce all those things. Be positive in life. And for students, you have to acquire knowledge and latest knowledge, intelligence and artificial intelligence, all kinds of knowledge will take you through your life. So with this, thank you very much for this opportunity. God bless you.